over the last few weeks, I have been doing a little bit of work on the writing, and I've always found myself stopping at a certain point, and I think it's because I haven't solidified the voice of this film. Whose story is this? Now, it could be all of their stories, but I think I need to make that decision, and especially with narration and things like that, I need to make sure who's narrating, why they're narrating, and all of that sort of thing.
Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
So I've been trying to write this, as you know, and from a child's point of view, from his eyes, it feels weird. Like, it doesn't tell us a lot, if you know what I mean. I think a big thing for me is, this morning I was like writing out sort of the things I want to get across in this film.
Yeah.
And it only sort of came as soon as I started doing the character brief for the father.
Yeah.
And I realized that, like me, he must have been afraid to be normal. Everything is like always played up. Like they would make rockets in their backyard. That's why he also was doing music in a full-time job, and there was like this contradiction that he was battling within himself. And then this whole thing could be a theme of like breaking out of this normality.
But the most important question you're asking yourself with this movie is, whose story are you telling?
So whose story am I telling? Whose lens are we looking through for this adventure? In the end, I think I've always known it's going to be through the youngest child's eyes. I guess I'm just getting stumped on whether it should be a reflective look back at the world, or whether it should be purely a voice of innocence and have it come directly from there. It's a fast-paced film, and I wanted to sort of get straight into the film and go like, this is my mother and this is my dad, you know, and I think an older version, actually, now that I say that, I think a young child would work. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm going to go back and watch films that I think capture that feeling for me, that feeling of childlike innocence and wonder and adventure. And from memory, one of those films was Big Fish. And I remember watching that film when I was younger, and like saying that was one of my favourite films of all time, even when I was younger. And I think I even said to my mother I wanted to make something like that. So I think I need to go back and watch that film. So I'm going to do that now. And I think there are a few other films I need to watch. And if I'm not mistaken, it has narration in it as well. Anyway, I'm going to watch that right now. This is just another example of how time goes really, really quickly. So a month ago, Carsten, the youngest child of the Horn family, and you've seen him in some of my vlogs already, he went on holidays with his family off to Africa. So they went like through Rwanda, Ethiopia, and the Congo, and all different other cool places. And they're back. They've been gone for like 5 weeks. And they're back. So I'm meeting up with Carsten right now.
So he's grabbing like probably more advice on my end, like, and you're there about a month. I'm there just over a month. Definitely, you can get connected up.
So Carsten and I just caught up here on St Kilda Road, and we caught up around about where he works, and I haven't been here since the first time that I actually met Carsten, which was back in September 2016. It's also really interesting because the next time that I see Carsten will be in East Timor, so that's really scary. Anyway, I feel like I've sort of set this place in motion, you know, this point where everything I do from now is sort of just the last little bits, you know, the last little things I have to do. I've got a few things to plan and things like that, and now it's really just getting myself ready for leaving, getting myself ready to go in 10 days.